This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics. Episode 165. That's right, only one more month. Anyway.
Ready! I've given the boys their homework, and boy, do I have a surprise.
Anyway, I am Phil, and that slave driver down in Florida is...
Queen of the Armadillos, working on being the Queen of Florida, Lil Hellfire.
And Harley Quinn's new #1 fan, it is...
Charlie the Professor Essa. It's Harlequin time.
It's Beavering time.
Oh! Nobody tell Rob.
I was going to say prerequisite.
Yeah. No beaver jokes. It was all very tasteful.
I know.
And really emotional. It was good, man.
I just must be a contrarian. It's fine. We've established this.
No.
Well, you know, when your heart is a cold diamond.
Desolate wasteland. I know.
I understand how hard it is to be moved to tears, but
Oh,
it made me cry.
That's reserved for rewatching The Good Place.
There you go.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Anyway, was that today we got the breaking news, I believe?
We got a couple of things to talk about here, Philip.
Well,
DC stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, first, we heard I guess HBOMax is going to have another DC series, some kind of Gotham Police.
Companion series to the Batman movie?
No.
Out? Okay, so theory or conspiracy.
GCPD.
Ben Affleck has now passed his blackmail that he has on whoever at the WB and AT&T and gave it to his good friend Matt Reeves. Because this does not need to exist.
No. It absolutely does need to exist. HBO needs content. Donald Logue is just cooling his heels to be Bullock, and he's an evergreen character, and they can finally do Montoya right. Justice for Montoya.
My sweet and that's what I've been saying. People are like, why does Montoya need justice? I'm like, clearly you've never watched Gotham on Fox. It's fine, honey.
Anything. I have not. The only good Montoya is Question Montoya is good, and Batman animated series.
Look, yeah. I'm gonna say it. I kind of dig Rosie Perez in Birds of Prey. It was a terribly too small of an amount of screen time for that character, but I kind of dug it.
Well, like I said, I wanted to see all those characters fleshed out, but they just threw too much Harley into that.
Oh, but thank God that movie's not getting a sequel. It's like y'all should have done Gotham Sirens like the original script was pitched versus Birds of Prey. And people would have been happy.
What I'll say is, if I had gotten to see Rosie Perez's Montoya, I might have liked her. But what we saw of her was just, Montoya is Jessica Jones without powers.
But they didn't get the basic concept of anybody else. That's why I think it stuck out to me.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's a different view of Montoya. I don't see her as a drunk Montoya stumbling around the police station was not what I wanted to see. And that was...
Well, this is her in her latter years, not her younger years. We never really... I can see after years of being in Gotham, like, I get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's great. We saw Donald Logue, and we saw him in the cartoon. We know
Exactly.
Or you can...
I get that extrapolation.
Or, I mean, you can even say it's like pain medication, because he's probably been shot a couple times, and I mean, it is Gotham.
Shot, stabbed, thrown off a bridge.
Oh, I said it. I said it. I said Gotham.
Come on, Phil, say Gotham.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? They got to bring Bullock back from '89 Batman to be Bullock's father.
You mean Eckhart? Eckhart?
What?
Eckhart? It wasn't Bullock. They called him Eckhart.
Oh, they called him Eckhart? Oh.
Yep.
My bad.
But
okay.
we all knew
But yes,
what they meant.
it would have been cool. Well, I don't even know if Bullock existed when 89 Batman came out.
He wasn't in the comics at the time, but yeah. I mean, they had him in the comics. It was at least the early 80s. I don't know, was he even in there in the 70s, Lois?
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay, well then there you go. So yeah, so Eckhart, yeah, bring the actor who was Eckhart in to be Bullock's father, and have Donald Logue as Bullock.
Yeah.
I want more
I
Donald
will say,
Logue.
DC does need to do something with the Renee Montoya character. They need to do something fast.
And for real, that is exactly what this Gotham PD or whatever Gotham.
But I'm saying, as a companion piece to a movie that we don't know if it's gonna do well or not, like that's just weird.
I guess one aspect of it is it's sort of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they gave it just enough space that if it took off, they could say, yeah, this is all about the MCU. And if it failed, they could say, it's it's in a universe in which the MCU is also a universe.
And I mean,
let's just ask this question: how many Batman spin-offs and multiverses do we need? How many do we actually need? That's all I'm saying.
Here's what I'll tell you: I enjoyed Pennyworth from what I've seen of it. If they take it off of freaking Stars, I'd watch the rest of it.
Stars, they wish. It's Epics.
It's Epic.
Oh, Epics, whatever it's on. It's on a channel I don't have.
Which isn't Epics technically like affiliated with? I forget which packet. I want to say it's actually affiliated with the HBO bundle or something like that. Because I think it was because how it's like organized in mine. It's like came after all my HBO channels and usually goes like Stars, everything that's related to Stars.
I don't think it's HBO because I have HBO and I don't have Epics. I would have to pay extra for Epics. So.
Well,
See, I don't pay extra for Epics, so I have no idea where it came from.
It's weird. It's like a lot of these companies. First off, a lot of these companies have like majority holders, which may be AT&T, Time Warner, but they have several other holders. Yeah. And it's sort of like this idea where they spread out their.
It's a subsidiary of MGM. What?
Actually, Tom Cruise owns it. Tom Cruise owns it. Yeah, good for Tom Cruise. Okay. I can see that now. What? Tom Cruise owns MGM.
What the
heck? Is it partly through Lionsgate or something, or?
Well, I don't know. I remember years ago.
I thought that he owned Miramax Film Studios. I know that's the studio that he bought out to do Mission Impossible when everybody told him no.
Because when MGM was going bankrupt, well, maybe he bought United Artists. So, but I don't know if MGM and UA are still affiliated. So I don't know who owns the MGM brand, but I thought it was Tom Cruise. So, but either way.
But I mean,
I don't know all of Tom Cruise's holdings. The man's.
I know a lot about Tom Cruise, ironically, but I told y'all I live in the Clearwater area. It's kind of prerequisite. It's kind of prerequisite.
Yes, but
go ahead,
I know he bought United Artists, and I know MGM owns United Artists. I know MGM was struggling for a long time. So I don't know if MGM is still MGM UA, and that's what Tom Cruise bought.
Because I know they had bundled up with like Paramount and a few others after a while. It's just like a weird, murky thing about MGM.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it's always been.
But, I mean...
But yeah, that makes so much sense now. But how did they ever get a Batman show? Like, it's just weird. Epics is just a weird thing. Pennyworth's this weird thing that's like crazy good, but like, where did it come from? Why is it on Epics? Nobody knows.
I know. Why didn't they just save that for HBOMax? Because
well, honestly, we didn't know it was supposed to be Warner Media.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever.
The whole thing about like how HBOMax happened, why it happened, especially when we already had DC
Universe,
and all this stuff.
And one thing we know is that when you're starting to do these things, you do tend to spread your seat around.
Whoa!
Because until you get your here's our killer app.
All right, Floronic Man.
Until Solomon Grundy forever. Until you know you have your killer app and you can stake your dominance, you got to make sure you keep your fingers in the pies of your Netflix and your other production companies, just because you don't want to be caught flat-footed where you don't have an outlet. And you never want to be...
You also want it to be on a channel where at least a majority of people get it and can find it.
No, but what it is Epix wanted... Probably Epix wanted a
It needed something.
It needed something.
And they needed it to put them on the map, yeah.
Exactly. And so they probably went around to the two big media conglomerates, of which all popular genre fiction is currently held, which is Disney and Warner's. And they said, what can you give us? And probably, Disney probably had something nice, but, Warner said, hey, would you like a blood and guts, boobs out Batman show? And they said, yes, please. And they gave him
Pennyworth. Yeah, that's the weird thing, because it is Batman. The actual showrunners and original writers of Gotham that run Pennyworth. Yeah. So in my headcanon, it is a prequel. A prequel to the prequel of a prequel.
Yeah.
It's a prequelception here.
I like to think of it as sort of, Batman 66 is the Hobbit, and Gotham and Pennyworth, that's like the Lord of the Rings. Or like Gotham is the Lord of the Rings, and Pennyworth is the Samarillion, which is like the Hobbit's like it's for the kids, here's the legend of Batman, and then you get and now let us learn of the deep secrets that led to the Batman, and here's all the effed stuff that happened before the Bat.
Since we're in the DC wheelhouse, can we talk about Doom Patrol? I don't have a segue. I just want to talk about Doom Patrol.
Yes.
Season 2, episode 5. How dare you give me a fun episode, lull me into a false sense of security, and then BAM! No.
Well, that's what me and Charlie were talking. That's what me and Charlie were talking about. I wasn't even that thrilled with episode 4, but episode 5, oh my god.
Lulled us into a false sense of security so they could rip the rug from under.
There was so much.
I love them for it.
And there was so much in that episode too.
You know what it was? Is they wanted, and here's the thing. I mean, not to be weird about it, but spoilers if you haven't seen episode 5 yet. Baby girl's a mental construct. Can you even kill her? Even if you have a wish magic candle man?
I was gonna say Xanax? Valium?
Well, is that what they're going to? Is that what they're going to show that she's not?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, is that what they're going to show, that she's not really dead, or 2, is he just cutting out parts of her brain or something?
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, it's gee, what is the logic behind the magic candle man?
Exactly.
The girl construct that went into the underground after Danny the Brick became Danny. He's going to be Danny the Bus, right? That's because it can't be Danny the Car.
Danny the Party Bus.
Yeah. Well, you ever been to Burning Man? Buses are great. It could be a party van. You could always have it be bigger on the inside, but I feel like if you're going to have it, it can't just be a car. It has to be something that you can stand up in, sing songs in, maybe lay down in.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm going to be biased and tell y'all why I love this episode. Okay, I love Phil Morris, and I love his arrogant, cocky, just condescending take on Silas Stone.
Vic's dad, yeah.
Phil Morris is a legend. He's the GOAT. Y'all can fight me, but I don't think nobody's fighting me on this.
Nope.
But you know what? Here's what I'm going to say about that, because I think there is actually a deeper thing in this with his derision of Calder and, the state-of-the-art cyborg. And I think about the episode of Teen Titans where not Beast Boy, Starfire goes to the future? Yeah, Starfire goes to the future. And basically Cyborg's I'm obsolete. I can't charge. I'm, all these things. And it's this idea that Niles Calder built Robot Man to last. So you say, oh, he's junk. It's no, he's not junk. He is a perfectly sustained robot body to keep his brain alive that will survive a nuclear holocaust if it has to.
Really? That arm keeps messing up.
Well, I think that's psychological.
Oh.
And also when the rat got him, that was problematic too. But when you punch holes in things, it gets to be a problem. But the idea is that the brain was operational, and if Niles was in there, he could have fixed those parts.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I was just waiting for Silas to say, at least with Vic, I had some, organic material to work with. All you are is a brain and this metal body.
Yeah. Well, but I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem, and I think that's the real problem, is that and here's the real thing. I think Siler Stone knows when he dies, his son dies. I think he knows that Cyborg's body is not going to be able to maintain itself. Or, as he's sort of said, well, your bioorganics will eventually just take you over.
Yeah.
And you'll just be a robot. Which, scares the heck out of Vic. But, to Siler Stone, it's like, oh, cool. Which shows you that, and I think Robot Man said it best. Like, man, I thought the Chief was bad, but your dad.
Okay, here's the thought. How about instead of that Gotham set in the Matt Reeves Batman world, we get Steel and Stone. Let's just do that.
That's what we were saying. That's what me and Charlie were saying. We want Steel and Stone.
Steel and Stone!
Honestly, it would be great. It would be awesome. I love the, I loved it. I mean, actually, I really want to see, even if Stone doesn't want to do that, I would love to see Cliff Steele as a beat cop in Detroit. I'd love to see him in like his Fred Gwynn dress blues from Car 54. Where are you? Just walking a beat.
I mean, this is the show to do it. Just put the whole cast in like a 70s cop show for an episode.
I think Doom Patrol is like, make it Legends, but slightly higher budget. Yes. And I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think they kind of blew the budget on both hiring Brendan Fraser and dressing Brendan Fraser. So we built a robot costume for Brendan Fraser to be in. We hired Brendan Fraser to do the work, and that's all of our budget.
Yeah, but he's not even in that, is he? He just does the voice, doesn't he?
I don't know. I thought he was actually physically in it.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody else was in that suit and he just does the voice. I thought it was the same. Isn't it the same with Matt Balmer too, Lilith?
Yeah, I know for Matt Balmer that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way,
I'd have to watch the credits, And since I can only watch it on my phone, it's very hard to watch on the thing.
Oh yeah, because you're watching through HBOMax. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very annoyed, by the way, that freaking Doom Patrol isn't on HBO, at least at some point. So, because then I can just...
Give it time for HBOMax to solidify and everything that's going to come. You know what I mean? Everything that's going to go to CW, everything that's going to go to HBO Max. Oh, and I really do feel like that would be on like in the summer.
Oh, I saw a commercial for Doom Patrol on TV the other night. They're like HBO Max original. I'm like, really? Where did this start?
Rude!
Really? Where did this start? Not HBO Max.
God, Stargirl got renewed for season 2.
Oh yeah, Stargirl, but it's going straight CW, no DC Universe.
Yeah. Now I say because it's Jeff Johns that not until season 4 with a budget dip. Just because you got to put respect on his name.
Yeah.
It's the best thing they got right now. This whole live-action universe is resting on Stargirl's shoulders. So I think they're going to show it a little respect. Just a little bit for a little bit.
Yeah. I will just say those are narrow shoulders.
They are indeed, sir. It's a precarious situation to be in. I feel so bad for the Batwoman after. Like, I haven't seen people be as nasty to her as the lady that plays Starfire on Titans.
Oh, what the new
Batwoman?
They're being mean to
but
her.
How come she couldn't be Kathy Dukins? Like, how come she couldn't be Kathy Dukins from Batman the Animated Show? Why couldn't she be? If you're gonna make her black, we do technically have a black Batwoman in the wheelhouse. We don't need Ryan Wilder.
That is so weird that I know that it's like an original character that they're not pulling anybody from the comics.
This is what happens when you have no respect for the animated series or the comic books.
Well, I think a lot of it is that there's always been this tension with the TV shows and the movies where there's this feeling we don't want to do what the comic books did.
But Kathy Dukins is such an obscure character. It's just so mind-blowing that they didn't do it.
But, she's obscure enough that, who would even know, who would even miss her?
Google it. Everybody Googles it afterwards. They go, oh, they actually did. And it's Batman the Animated Series. Who hates Batman the Animated Series?
They could always...
a relationship with Bruce. So I'm just saying it makes sense. Why didn't you guys hire me? Why didn't you call me? I could have literally written like 6 scripts.
They could always Von Doom it. And just change it at the end. No, she was going to be that character all the time. We were doing that as a misdirect. We weren't really going to call him Van Damme. That would be stupid. And we can see how stupid that would have been.
So no, they're gonna dig their heels in. It's gonna be Ryan Wilder. But
Okay.
I wish the lady all of the best of luck. I'm really glad that the fandom hasn't treated her like the lady from Titans, because that was ugly and unnecessary. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's been kind of a positive reaction.
Oh, okay. So it has been positive. I didn't know that people were getting mad about it. I just.
Of course, you're replacing a white character with a black character. Of course, people are going to be. It's the internet.
I don't.
People feed the trolls.
What?
Okay.
Well, Ruby Rose was white.
Yeah.
She what? Okay, I didn't know. I don't just assume people are white, Philip.
I thought
She
that
could
was.
have been Hispanic.
Yeah, but it's
She
a
could have
known
been
fact. I thought. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Here's what I'm going to tell you, man. I don't trust anyone's white anymore. You know? That's the thing.
Damn
The
white.
world is full of a lot of people who are light-skinned, who don't describe themselves as white, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind that.
That's mustache, Shirley.
I'm just saying, you know? So, no, I did not know Ruby Rose was white. So there we go.
Oh,
But
and
anyways,
I want to get back to that Lex Luthor casting, by the way, making him a black man.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
just like, y'all know that he wasn't really black in the Superman animated series. They just made him a little tan so he wouldn't look like a Nazi. Like, is that not common knowledge? Like, I feel like that should have been common knowledge.
Well, I mean,
they never showed him,
No,
like,
they
he's
actually
the fan.
specifically
Well,
have said this in commentary on the DVDs. Have done interviews about that. Like, point blank, period. Y'all need to educate yourself.
well, I guess yeah. They said that they're
Fair
for Superman and Lois. Yeah, it's going to be an alternate Lex Luthor, but it's like, why you had Cryer? I think Cryer's been doing a good job. Why wouldn't you use Cryer still for both?
Maybe they heard Lilith complaining about Cryer, so they said, well,
Oh,
I
can't
think
upset
this
Lilith
very
about
much
Cryer.
could be a Michael Clark Duncan, where he does actually have that physicality when you put the pictures up and stuff. Like, I get why they cast him. We'll see how it works out. I don't watch All American, so I don't know this actor. But all the best of luck to him.
Well, yeah, and honestly, okay, yeah.
It's just
Like I
weird
said-
choices the CW's making. It's just kind of prickling
Yeah.
my skin. Like, you're trying a little too hard. Death Lady protest a little too much. We know y'all have had issues. That's all that I'm saying. Y'all trying a little too hard, but I see
I'm
you.
just happy people are getting work, you know?
I see you, though.
I know. Well, yeah, it's see, I don't, like I said, I grew up with Red Brown Captain America. I don't worry when they change things.
He's like, y'all don't know my struggle.
plastic shield.
Ooh.
You know what, man? I thought the
And
plastic...
he had to like it and buy it at the store.
I'm telling you right now, just going to say this, man, I thought it would have been a brilliant marketing move to just start selling those plastic shields to all those protesters. You know, you need people shooting darts at you. You got paintballs coming at you. Rubber bullets. Get yourself a Captain America shield. I think that would have been brilliant. Seeing all those people walk down there with the cap shields. $1 billion idea. No one took it.
Yeah, because
I know plexiglass is kind of expensive right now.
$400 Captain America shield that I got at GameStop. There's no way. There's no way.
Well, that's why you make it out of plastic, but you make it out of a high-grade, clear plastic so you can see through it. You do that little logo on it. You get the rights. Disney will sell it. They're fine. They get the nickel once you buy the rights. You know, then they get like a penny on every one you sell. So it's like win-win. Trust me. Selling protesters riot shields.
You let us go off the
$1 billion
rails again. I'm drinking apple juice. He's drinking apple juice. Come on. We gotta
And I'm just saying,
No, not
if
without
you
keeping
want to
it.
be a DC fan, you can do the 60s bat shields, which were the first clear plastic shields.
Oh, no.
That Batman, it was their bomb shield. So you could have had those, man. Marketing opportunities.
Nobody wants to remember that.
Sorry to make you listen to all
Everyone
that.
wants to remember the 60s
Dark time.
Batman. You know,
All
that's
right.
why they're asking Michael Keaton back.
But I mean, just to loop back around
We're
to
going to get Val Kilmer on that note, by the way.
We better. Val Kilmer is awesome, and I would love to see some more work with him. Although they're already saying they're going to be doing it with Willow too. So,
They've been saying that for 15 years.
but now Disney owns the rights.
But just to loop back the HBO Max, I'm like, before we start announcing 20 shows, can we get at least one show on the air? And hey, can we get this thing on like
Well,
all?
Friends starts shooting in August, supposedly. So, woo-hoo-hoo, the reboot everybody wants.
Oh.
Watch that flop.
Oh,
Wait,
oh, really?
Friends reboot?
Not a reboot, but a reunion show.
Oh, Friends reboot. Well, you know.
Friends had its time, and that was a pre-9/11 world. That's all that I'm going to say about it, and I'm going to move on.
No, last season or two, I think, was after 9/11.
I know.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't address it, and they just like I said, it belongs in a pre-9/11 world.
They'll be there for you. But can we just get this? Can we just get this thing to work?
Phoebe and Joey got together. That's all I'm living for.
Phoebe and Joey.
I know.
In the end, that was the couple that got together.
As the
Phoebe
last
and
two
Joey.
left, yeah.
I mean, I love Paul Rudd just as much as anybody else, but he did not belong with Phoebe. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were you saying,
I don't think
darling?
they can get Paul Rudd at this point.
He'd do it for. He actually liked his stint on that show. He actually wanted a better resolution for his character, so maybe.
Maybe Phoebe's cuckolding him.
Ooh.
Just tossing it out there, man.
Throw it in.
Phoebe and Joey were the lobsters. They were the real lobsters.
Go ahead, throw it in.
But no, I was saying back to HBO Max. It just again, can we get one of the shows?
We're calling all the Snyder Cut, Philip. That's where all our eggs are in this basket.
Yeah, Snyder Cut. Now it's what 3?
Matt did a great analysis on why it won't fail. Have you seen this yet, Charlie?
Oh yeah, no, Matt Pat.
I totally agree with him.
Yeah, and it's not going to fail because here's the thing: there's no definition of failure for it.
Exactly.
Literally. It's like if they released it in a theater, yes, you could say, "Oh, that made $20. That was not a good movie." But on TV, on a streaming service with no official ratings, ta-da!
Exactly.
You know, although Action Nielsen says, well, technically we make and this is the thing, Nielsen has you write down in your diary everything you watched. So technically they do have ratings, just that because Netflix doesn't participate in Nielsen, I guess they're not official Nielsen ratings, but yeah. So, but that's the thing. And honestly, if 1 million people watch it, if 1 million people subscribe to HBO Max, that is literally, $90 million right there on a $30 million extra investment. Because it's not like the original one lost money.
Yeah.
Now you're on TV production. So yeah, whatever. It's going to be a hit. It'll be a big enough hit. And it can't not be a hit because people have committed to first off, people are committed to liking it. So no one who has been demanding the Snyder Cut, this is what Matt Pat basically pointed out, no one who's been demanding the Snyder Cut will get evidence that the Snyder Cut is awful and say, oh my gosh, my entire worldview has been destroyed. No, they'll say, yeah, I wasn't an idiot for demanding this for the last 4 years.
I see it.
And there you go.
I get it.
But I just wish they would make the HBO Max work on all devices.
By the time the Snyder Cut comes out, trust me, it'll be fixed. Mysteriously, magically.
I'm going to tell you this. DCU was like that when it first came out, but DCU eventually got over to Amazon.
I know.
It took them 3 months to get there, but they got there.
But again,
I don't know. It worked when I first enrolled for it. It worked for me. I don't know.
But again, the Disney Plus or the Disney Plus, I mean, that worked first day on everything, right?
I don't know.
There were some complaints.
Oh, were there? Okay.
Well, I mean, were they technical complaints? So were they technical complaints because Disney didn't have the server space, or were they complaints because we just can't download this on our?
I'm just saying there. What was there certain devices they couldn't work on?
I think it's just that everybody crashed the server.
Oh yeah.
HBO Max's problem is I can't get it on Roku,
Amazon. Yeah, no.
You can get it on. You can get it on what? You can get it on Apple TV.
Welcome to
Chromecast,
the AT&T poop show.
Yeah, and you can get it on your AT&T phone because they want you to watch it on your phone. That's the thing.
You can burn all your components out and have to get a new one.
Burn. That too. Data, new phones, everything.
It's got a processor chip in it, just like everything else. So, I see you, AT&T. I see you.
And you can't throw it to your TV, which is the thing that makes me the maddest. You should always be able to throw to your TV.
Quibi had to learn that lesson the hard way, and they, so.
If you can't throw to your TV, it ain't worth my time.
Go ahead, throw it in. So, comic books?
Yeah, let's talk comic books.
Oh, Lilith must have a hot date tonight.
Oh, wait, no, I don't. But I know you guys have super connectivity, so I am trying to keep us on track.
I'm trying.
Did we talk about Teen Titans Season 6 coming soon?
Oh,
Wait, what?
Season 6?
You didn't see that? It's
No.
actually
You mean
true.
the cartoon show?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it. No, it was like, when's that?
Yeah, it's gonna be late this year. They're gonna air the 6th and final season on Cartoon Network.
Oh, they're going to wrap everything up.
Yep. I find that interesting that that's not on HBO Max, because I know HBO Max makes it a point about all the cartoons that you can watch. That's why I feel like Boomerang's going to be phased out pretty soon, because I saw some of the stuff that's on Boomerang available on HBO Max in one of those tabs. So I do feel like they're going to consolidate everything in the HBO Max, and I was curious about why it was going to be on Cartoon Network and not HBO Max. Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it doesn't make sense to run multiple platforms at all. You know? Honestly, the only reason why Disney Plus and Hulu are separate is because there's content that Disney Plus doesn't want on Hulu, or Hulu that there's content on Hulu that they don't want on Disney Plus because of the Disney.
Yeah, like the mature stuff. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the only reason why you separate it. HBO Max,
they don't care.
Already committed to Doom Patrol and Elmo. So it's like, you know who we are. We are a one-stop shop. We are the Amazon, Walmart of.
Yeah, they're the Walmart
of everything.
Disney's Target, and
just throw it all in.
Go ahead, throw it in.
Throw it all in. Put on a parental control if you need to. But quite frankly, we understand. You may want to watch, someone getting disemboweled, and then learn your ABCs. We understand. We all like that comfort food. So, yeah. And for what it's worth, maybe there is just, creative struggles over, and what you're going to have in any creative company.
But it's been carrying on for way too long. It's bleeding into literally every facet, every choice, every decision. Marketing team, PR, y'all going to have to just be the bosses, put your big girl panties on, and get this company together, because this is a mess.
Probably.
Anyway, comic books makes me happy, so let's talk comic books.
Whoa, okay.
Well, let's talk about what will make. Let's talk about what may make Lilith happy.
Nothing.
Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Kelly Thompson is just such a peach. Y'all don't even know, if you're not reading this, y'all sleeping on it.
I'm going to show you. You know what my favorite thing in this book was?
What's that?
I'll show you. Let me get to it.
What issue is that?
Comes to pick up Sabrina, and they go riding on their brooms, and you see, you see Sabrina. She's riding it, the way classic style. But Della, see how she rides?
She's riding a side saddle, baby.
Shows she's a lady. That's a Witch Hazel line. She says, "You'll know I ride my broom side saddle. Shows I'm a lady." So I love that. Just in and of that, the fact that, Sabrina, she's a brash young thing. She doesn't even think about it. But honestly, I look at that and I think it's gonna be a lot more comfortable to ride side saddle if you're on a broom.
Hey-o.
No, I mean, and you look at Stargirl. Stargirl rides side saddle.
Yeah,
well, she was a gymnast, so it's probably a more I don't know, it's like a
balance or
comfortability thing, or
I think it's a comfort thing. Putting something between your legs like that, it's not necessarily comfortable.
And a new drop was born!
Thank you for shutting up, Lilith.
I already heard you.
I'm just saying, it's whether you got something down there or you got something else down there, it's not always nice to have something like that in a stressful situation that's, moving around down there. That's all I'm saying, and I think that, and Stargirl, she is a gymnast, and it's a balance thing, and that's it. It's a balance thing. It's an easier way. You hold on to it in a much more secure position, and you can get off of it much quicker. Mm-hmm. Which is the other thing. Getting off much quicker is important when you.
We're such children, Philip. Why?
When you're riding. So
that was the cherry on the sundae. Mwah! Chef's kiss.
There you go. I can read the room, but so I love that. I love this artwork, and I like that Andy Fish, and Veronica Fish and Jack Morelli kind of came together, and it didn't distract. I didn't even know there were 3 different artists on this one. They just all kind of really worked well together. So
But Veronica Fish is the usual artist, and her and Kelly Thompson have just this phenomenal synergy together. They're just telling this great story. I kind of like the way she's going, even though it's like, I need more Hilda and Zelda interactions, but we're getting there. It's only the second issue. It's fine.
Here's another fun thing I just realized.
No.
Hilda, when she wakes up, she's wearing the moon robe.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the night, she is wearing, she's wearing the sun robe.
Ooh.
Ah!
Oh, but I do have bad news if you care.
Okay.
If you care about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, part 4 will be the final, but it is going to continue in comic book form where they get to meet the Riverdale witches, if anybody cares.
I was going to say, you're talking about the show? I thought we just mentioned
the
that.
show. The fourth part's going to be the last part. So
so they're going to have
a bummer. Netflix kind of
gonna
cleaned house out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well,
Dead to Me's gone, so you guys got 2 seasons to watch. There's no excuses.
I wonder if it's I do wonder if it's Netflix. I wonder if it's maybe Archie's. Maybe Archie's.
No, because they canceled Kathy Keene too. So it's like that Riverdale universe is kind of live action universe is kind of falling apart.
Really?
So I'm kind of worried. Yeah, it's falling apart.
Man, is its ratings falling?
I could not tell you.
I mean, I know that I did not watch the last season of Sabrina.
Well, it was a mess.
Maybe it's my fault.
Lovecraft, so it's kind of like, I feel like once you've already like defeated the devil, so like now we're doing these old Lovecraftian old gods, there's nothing really else to do anyway, so maybe it was kind of like a mutual decision.
Oh yeah, if they killed their big bad, did they like kill the big bad?
Not yet. I mean, like I said, we're dealing with Lovecraft in this final part, like we're dealing with the dark terrors or whatever. So, but we have fought Satan, so it's just like, let's not be supernatural, which is hillbilly Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's you can't. You got to keep your big bads out there, or you got to know, or you should. Here's what I'll really say: you should sow seeds for extra big bads later. I think that's actually Marvel's biggest problem right now.
Besides all the events.
Oh no, I meant their cinematic stuff. Is they really don't have a bit. There's all these big bads that we as comic book fans know. But going into Phase 4, there's nothing teased. I mean, the closest tease you have is Dormammu, and you have Loki.
And come on, we know it's going to be Loki, because he's a fan favorite.
Well, yeah, but to be the big bad? I don't know if Loki's going to be the big bad. We saw back in Loki's first modern Marvel appearance that, even then, Jane Foster was swooning over him.
And that's the point, A bad boy, can he change? Will he change?
Yeah, but, you can't make that the guy who's going to destroy the universe either, That's the problem.
He's a trickster, though, so it's like, I could see it.
Unless we get a Kang at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or there's going to be something in our 2020 Hellstrom. When will that be? We don't know.
Is that going to give us Mephisto?
Maybe.
Oh, yes.
They need to build somebody. And then they need to retroactively show, no, he was here all along. Which...
He was Uncle Ben!
He was Uncle Ben.
That's why we didn't mention him in the MCU.
I'm telling you, one of these days they're going to do it. They're going to bring Uncle Ben back in some fit of desperation, and he's going to be Mephisto. Mark my words. It can take a day or it can take a lifetime, but it's going to happen.
Yeah. Actually, they did bring Uncle Ben back in Superior Spider-Man, if you will recall. At the very start of it, when Peter dies, and he goes to heaven and sees Uncle Ben.
Oh, yeah.
And Uncle Ben sends him back.
Wait.
But was that like a hallucination?
But then again, that could also been Mephisto sending him back. You're not done yet, my toy.
Mark my words.
Yes, so...
Yeah, I really feel like Sabrina's a good read that people should be reading. If you're not, it's worth it, I think, to give it a chance. Because it's Kelly Thompson. She's got fantastic dialogue. And I feel like when she takes on a project of a book, it's because she really cares about these characters. She really gets the characters.
Yeah.
So, okay, enough about Sabrina. We can talk Marvel. We can talk Marvel. What was out on Marvel?
I mean, we got another show to do Marvel, but no, Lilith, I was going to ask you if you read Young Justice.
I did.
Is someone being crucified on that cover?
No, it's basically Impulse, like, through the multiverse, because...
Oh, okay.
Because we didn't put Wally West through enough? Okay, this is where I draw the line. We're not going to be torturing my sweet baby Bart Allen. We're just not doing this.
So what?
Leave my baby Flashes alone. Leave them alone.
So just basically, just like Superboy, the issue before, they show Mirror Master knocks him out of the universe, and that's how, when he shows back up, it's just like, oh, this isn't the same universe.
Yeah, I don't.
I had heard they were Flash pointing him in some way or something like that. Is that what they're doing?
Well, he went to a future and ran into old lady Harley Quinn, who was basically had him locked up in Arkham.
Oh, did they ever finish that old lady Harley series?
I thought so.
Yeah, maybe
you were the one reading it. I tell us.
I know, but I wasn't actively pulling it, so if it was getting sold out when I wasn't watching, I missed it. Or if I had a very heavy week, then I had to I'm not going to look at the other books, and so yeah.
I don't know what to make of it. This is really I have to see how it all plays out, but I feel very uncomfortable, and I don't know why.
Spend this.
Yeah, probably. And the art, I'm not really a fan of either.
I don't have a problem with the art, but just that last page.
I mean, for it to be based on Wally, I just expect, dynamic action and fluid movement, not all this sitting and... I don't like that. That's not what when I see Bart or any speedster on the cover, that's not what I'm here for in my story. I don't know. Yeah, Bendis, dialogue. Synonymous.
And the biggest travesty, Drake.
No comment.
Nothing scares scares bad guys like naming yourself after a duck.
Ducks are vicious, bro. I'll let you know.
To be fair, he's just calling himself by his name.
Yes, but he has a secret identity, so that's equally stupid.
Well,
his identity is not public knowledge.
He wants to be caught and beat to death with a crowbar.
Or maybe he just is. Maybe this is his way of just saying, secret identities are stupid. You're Bruce Wayne, the richest ninja in the world, and you're afraid someone's going to know your secret identity and seek out your loved ones. All of your loved ones are ninjas. And all of your loved ones are people want to kill anyway. They could just kill your loved ones, not even knowing they were your loved ones. Do you have any loved one that isn't a ninja?
He doesn't really have loved ones, because why does Batman wear black? To keep from getting shot. Why do the Robins wear bright, colorful colors? To keep Batman from getting shot. So it's a moot point regardless. You are right.
Thank you, Plucky Duck, for that joke. Hostage, the boy target.
But yeah, I'm still kind of invested. I'm curious, but it's starting to I'm starting to feel that sense of dread.
It's the Bendis lag. I mean, you get stuff and then it's just nothing happens for a couple issues, and then it's oh look, multiverse.
Let's all sit around and talk.
Multiverse shit. Yeah, because last issue was Superboy, sitting around saying, "Oh yeah, I got knocked out of the universe and came back to a different universe." This issue, it's Impulse. I got knocked out of the universe.
Thank you for the exposition. I know, trust me.
Again, Bendis.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're writing for the trades, but come on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop for a while. I think this needs a good one-off or something. I don't know. To pick up the pace, re-inject some fresh energy into it.
Or just give us an oversized issue. Everyone gets their issues out. Seriously.
I kind of feel like DC does not know how to do multiple universes.
Well, for the longest
time... They used to, but not anymore.
Well, for the
now everything has to count and not in any meaningful way.
Again, yeah, they went decades, saying, okay, we're going to reboot. That last continuity didn't count. And then they go 10 years, okay, we're going to reboot. That last continuity didn't count. Now they want everything to count.
But it's not meaningful. It's not structured. It's just chaos.
But why not just have sliding time?
And they don't want to admit New 52 is a major mistake, Lil.
Yes, that is the major thing. Well, we all know who was kind of sort of behind those decisions.
Tito.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean,
Ego runs the universe over there. So
rebooting pulp is always a mistake. If you can do so, for example, if you're watching the new Perry Mason. It is very much, this is the origin of Perry Mason. It's a prequel to Perry Mason. And it's very different than any Perry Mason we've had before. But you can definitely see how this detective becomes the lawyer that we know from the series and the books. And then you just have Perry Mason being Perry Mason forever. Like James Bond. It doesn't matter if he started in the 50s. He is James Bond forever. And yeah, people do, oh, well, no, he's this. No, he's a sliding time character, okay? Sliding time was the most brilliant idea they ever had, where they just said, you know what? Just stuff comes forward. That's fine. Everything was just 20 years in the past. Because you know what? Because probably it's new enough to you, and everything can count if we just say, it was 20 years ago. Who remembers? And I know that because at 45, suddenly I'm saying, oh, man, that was like 30 years ago. We're like, oh, man, that actually was 30 years ago.
And again, it's all, it's Bendis pulling his Bendis. Because, Lilith, did you read Superman?
No.
Okay. I mean, it's
he only gets one book a week from me, buddy.
I mean, at least half the issue is Superman sitting around talking to Dr. Fate. And it's not even good Dr. Fate. It's that new 52 Dr. Fate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Justice for Dr. Fate and Santana.
Wait, which Dr. Fate?
He's the new guy. Here, let me
the teenager?
Yeah. He's
or his uncle? Because they're both in there.
No, it's like the teenager.
It should be Mr. Fate, to be honest. Like, he's not a doctor.
He doesn't have his doctorate yet. He really
exactly.
Doctor.
Yeah, this kid's like in medical school. Yeah.
Oh, then he's not a doctor yet. He doesn't. That's like.
Yeah, Khalid Nassor. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he's not a doctor if he doesn't have his doctorate yet.
Yeah. No.
Like, honestly, like, yeah.
I mean, basically, half the issue is almost like a recap because he's talking to Superman. It's like, oh, your son got aged up and went to the future?
Well, you don't want to do yellow boxes, so you do dialogue exposition dumps.
Why not doing yellow box? What does that hurt?
But they just sit around and talk. Oh, so your son got aged up and went to the future. Yeah, we saw this already. Oh, your father was nuts and, running around when he was supposed to be dead. So then he got sent back in time to Krypton where he was supposed to die the first time.
Okay, so the only DC book you should be reading is Wonder Woman Agent of Peace. Because, especially this issue, it's my favorite DC book this week. She's fighting evil killer robots.
Nice. And
she's having fun and looking fabulous doing it. It's fun, it's smart, it's witty, I love the dialogue, it's fast paced. And I like Wonder Woman Agent of Peace because it gives different artists and writers that haven't had a chance to write for her and give her fresh energy. I'm just feeling it.
I'm behind on it. Which issue was that this week?
That's issue 9.
Okay.
Now, is it Agent of Peace like Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., or is she just an agent of the esoteric concept of peace?
The esoteric concept of peace, which I like that take. I like the warrior princess angle sometimes, but she is about peace and those things too. And I think a lot of people forget about it. And that's the one thing I will say the DCEU got right. I like that take
Turns
on
the
her.
hawk into the dove.
Oh, but speaking of girl
Save
power,
the world with love.
Speaking of girl power, did you read the last issue of Lois Lane, Lilith?
Of course I did. I'm probably like the only one at this point.
I'm reading it. But it was
I liked it.
And that would be why it's the last issue of Lois.
Well, it was only supposed to be a 12-issue series. Just like, isn't Jimmy Olsen supposed to be 12 too?
Yep, that's right. And I think it was just like I said, they were trying to like be nostalgic and like reminisce. Remember when, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane had her own book?
And Superman's pal,
Remember when Jimmy had his own book? Remember, guys? But now we're doing it hard, gritty, hot takes. Yay! And for the most part, it has worked for both those books.
I mean, it was...
I like the conclusion. I feel like this could go somewhere with another, like, say, 3 issues. 3 issues could spin out of this every now and then. Or an annual or something.
Well, wasn't she supposed to be... Was she supposed to be in that, that Leviathan series with Green Arrow in them that's been, put on hold indefinitely?
I heard that, but I don't trust her.
So I wonder if they're like, now they're going to change course and do her own thing again, or just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the book, from what I can tell so far, is done pretty well. People are very interested, kind of much like the Mary Jane thing. People are kind of like, yeah, I'm glad they're out from that shadow and they're not being, relegated to being the stupid side piece. I think that there's a lot of women readers now, and there's not enough good characters and writing for the women characters in both the main universes. So,
I mean, it was good. I mean, you had your action, your intrigue, and even touched on real world stuff where she was like asking uncomfortable questions of people in the White House.
Well, she would have never gotten to the freaking Rose Garden if it was the real president. She'd have been banned a long time ago.
I don't know about that. She's hot, literally.
So I think it's a good book. I think it wrapped up pretty great. I think this is going to make an amazing trade read.
Yes.
I think this is definitely going to get some fresh legs in the trades for sure.
It was good. It was good monthly, but yeah, I bet you like in a trade in one thing, yeah, that would be even better. Oh, but hey, anyone want some Batman this week? We had Batman 90.
So much Batman.
We had Batman 94. We had Detective 1023. We had The Batman's Grave number 8. We had Batman and the Outsiders 14. We had Batman Beyond 43.
Nights number 12.
We had Batman The Adventures Continue number 2. And do you count Harley Quinn in there? I don't know, but
no, we don't count Harley Quinn anymore.
So yes,
but also Green Lantern season 2 number 5 was out. Just gonna gloss over.
Are we allowed to talk Green Lantern on this podcast? No, but Green Lantern was good.
Yeah, I can't say that for any of the Batman books. I didn't like a single one that I read. I didn't like The Outsiders. I didn't like Gotham Knights.
Him versus Hyper Man.
And I don't know what's even going on in Detective Comics anymore. You're breaking my heart.
We got to tie everything has to tie in the Joker War.
Exactly. Boo.
Every Bat book's gonna tie in the Joker War.
Fetch me a crowbar.
Oh,
fetch me a crowbar. It's oversaturation of Batman. Like I was like, is his name Peter Parker? Is this what's happening?
Well, that's what
in DC it is.
Yeah, well, that's like what you were saying before. Is like, why are they spinning all these shows and movies and everything else off of Batman? Are they playing it safe and saying, "Oh, what's our biggest property, Batman?" So everything has to spin out of Batman.
When you should be repairing our relationship with Superman.
Batman.
Superman.
Batman.
Tyler, I need help.
I'm tired of knowing everything.
You know, Lilith, the problem is that working things is hard. It's hard to do the work. And so
I literally have 15 scripts. Somebody call me, give me $100. I don't care at this point. This is ridiculous. You gotta fix it.
Yeah, hard. But they don't think it's broken if they can just do the lazy. It's like, if I can do the lazy thing and make $1 billion.
Well, they're not. Well, none of those movies made $1 billion.
And I mean, because I swear Warner sits there and say, "Oh, it's so hard to do a Superman story," and I don't know how. Well, between you, Lilith, and I swear, how many people I've heard, so many people have said, "Hey, an immigrant story, come on."
Well, there's no, Superman. The problem with Superman is that he's very strong. Okay, that's why we have kryptonite. Literally, that's why we have Lex Luthor. That's why we have,
Somebody just call Bryan Cranston. I told y'all, I take it back. Forgive me when I said he shouldn't play.
And you don't.
The worst case scenario.
And you don't have to do.
As well.
You don't have to do physical. You don't have to do physical threats for Superman. It's it's like what's truth and justice in the modern age.
But see, that's the thing. The problem for Superman is that people do want an action sequence.
Oh yeah, they want to.
And unlike the Hulk, this was the brilliance of the Incredible Hulk: is they set him in the Southwest, where there is literally nothing but a mountain to knock down. So you want to have the Hulk smashing
things. Take him back to Kansas, then.
Exactly. Heck, do a Superboy story. Show him learning his powers.
We had a whole 10 years of that.
I know, but it was good for the most part.
Fabulous. Season 7 re-injected life into it. We won't talk about the rest of it.
Well,
I'm just going to say,
well, what about
5? However many years you got, movies are 2 hours. Can we get 2 good hours of Smallville? That is what they need. They need 2 good hours.
I think Brightburn called and they were like, "Nah, son."
But I mean, is this why? I mean, the whole rumor about Superman in the comics now, Lilith. I'm assuming this is out of continuity, but they're saying they're going to age up his son, and like now Superman's going to be older and leading the Authority.
Well, that they said they weren't going to do that new generation thing, but it sounds like they're doing that new G5.
I think for Superman they are. For Superman they are. I think it sounds.
Which is, I mean, I'm curious, but I still love Clark. I will always love Clark, and I will feel very offended by that. But maybe this can be somebody else's Superman. Maybe it's my time to just move over and let the kids have it. I don't know. I don't know if they have money to support it like I do, but we'll find out, I guess.
But that's not the same care. Ugh.
Ben Reilly, Philip. Let him be the Ben Reilly for someone. Okay?
You know,
let him be the John Walker for someone.
But that's the thing. Ben Reilly, John Walker, they're like offshoots of these main characters. They can get their hands dirty. I mean, give us an offshoot Superman if you want to do that stuff.
How, that whole thing happened for him, if they're really going to, like, age him up and actually... I think it's going to be in continuity, to be honest. I really do. There's no such thing as continuity right now.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Here's what I'm going to say.
You could do a lot with a with Damian and John. You could do a lot with those two.
You were doing until they aged John up.
I know. But I
did enjoy those books. You're right.
That's the problem. It's like it was this great
this great friendship.
Story,
yeah.
And you could have done an Elseworld, a future story of them grown into their father's roles
together.
And, and you could have done that, and you could have then done some cross-pollination so that you could age them up over like 10 years. The problem is no one wants to play a long game anymore.
Not
and,
DC.
Honestly,
Not
that
DC.
happened when they allowed, like, universes like the Ultimates. Just write the character how you want. You don't have to build that bridge anymore. Just do what you want.
Is that why we get so many like alternate universe takes now, especially at DC? Because like people don't want to play in the continuity, so they're like, just do what you want.
They didn't make the continuity very friendly to begin with.
True.
For other people, they kind of everybody's kind of in a mutant sphere off onto themselves at this point.
But nobody wants to do the research either. I don't think.
Yeah.
Half the time.
And if you look at the Ultimates, basically do whatever you want was a great idea until they burned the universe out.
Till Galactus ate them all.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the universe eventually burned out.
For the love of God, Darkseid, we need you. Your only hope.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. It's like you have to build. You know what they should do in the next crisis? They should bring back. Oh, here is your solution to all of DC's problems. Superboy Prime saves his homeworld.
Is he punching a wall?
But the idea is that if Superboy Prime, in his mad quest, finally gets to save Earth Prime, finally gets to restore an Earth 1, an Earth 2, an Earth X, and all these things in the structure, and then you merge it so that, now we have young John Kent and young Damian, but now they're actually a little older. They're both like 15, 16.
My sweet
acceptable superheroing ages. And you can have this story that you can go back, you can forward, and you can have a continuity that just respects that past and that future with a little sliding time thrown in for fun. And you can have a universe that works, that you don't have to reboot every 10 months, that doesn't devour its own tail. And that would be a good thing. So let Superboy Prime have his homeworld back, and you can solve it. And this, you could even go into this whole idea, like if you could just have that thing back, that actually that because it was Earth Prime, that's what kept the universes stable. That it was the destruction of Earth Prime that caused all of the destructions and all the crises thereafter.
Pagey Barry Allen, time to make sweet, sweet love to the timeline.
I'm just saying, so there you go. So Wally West now has this is the Dr. Manhattan Speed Force thingy do. Have Superboy Prime steal the power to go back to save his universe, because now he has the ultimate power. He has the ultimate power. He saves his universe and stops the catalyst that destroys all reality. Suddenly all realities have to realign within the time-space continuum and straighten itself out. And there you've got yourself a DC universe you can live with, DC. Because
Dear Convergence, what you should have been.
You can reference back as you need to. You can tell new stories.
Am I wrong on that one, Phil?
What are you saying, Lil? Convergence should have had a point? What?
I mean, every event should have a point, and it shouldn't be done so often. But, call me crazy, call me old. I don't know.
Keep it simple, stupid.
That's just my theory on that.
Marvel books? Or do you want to talk Bitterroot? Because, oh my gosh.
Oh, I do want to talk Bitterroot, yeah.
I was going to say, if you guys want to talk Bitterroot, I mean, we could do Marvel on super connectivity.
Yeah, did you read a Marvel book, Lilith?
I always read at least one Marvel book. Why?
What Marvel book did you read?
Let's take a look. What do I have in my lap right now?
Hey-oh!
I read X-Force number 10.
Okay, I read that.
I read Black Panther and the Edges of Wakanda.
We all read that.
Obviously.
You didn't read Ghost Rider? You didn't read Ghost Rider? They mentioned Lilith.
Well, that's just, as we've discussed, it's a generic name.
I know.
Apparently. In fiction, it's a generic name.
Johnny Blaze dragging Mephisto around by a chain.
Oh, just for the
my God.
image.
And then
you know what? What issue was that?
And then with the over the head Easter egg, Mephisto, they're in the street. They're, Johnny Blaze is like gone insane. Well, he's cleansed now, but he was like going insane by penance staring all these demons. But like Mephisto's standing there all tied up in the street. Well, Wolverine and Frank Castle shows up. Mephisto looks at Frank Castle and says, "Boy, Frank, you would make a pretty good Spirit of Vengeance. You know that? Get it?"
Oh.
Well, he's not wrong.
I know, but
That is not foreshadowing.
I actually missed that for a second.
That's smacking you in the face.
Yeah. But anyway, Lilith, I'm happy to talk Bitterroot or Agents of Wakanda. I read both.
Bitterroot it is. Sorry, Philip.
That's all right. I mean, him and I can I read Wakanda, so we can talk down on superconnectivity.
So, yeah, man, as always, quit sleeping on Bitterroot, kids.
The movie's coming. Get on board, guys.
Yeah, I should not be able to find these books. That's all I got to say. I should not be able to find these books in my local... Well, I mean, I should be able because it's on my pull list. But I should not see any left on the stands. This is such a great story. And, man, the
pacing, the character development, the artwork, like, just right in the field.
Hey.
Every single issue.
Hey, you guys talk. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, I mean, everything. And, this is what I'm going to say about it. It's a great story of racism that isn't very racist. So they let the white people not be horrible monsters all the time. And as a white person, I appreciate that representation. I love that. Was it Dr. Sylvester? Is it Dr. Sylvester or Mr. Sylvester?
Dr. Sylvester. I love that he actually isn't the main antagonist. You're like, wait a minute. He's not the main antagonist.
He is your classic bait and switch antagonist, and I love him in his run. Although, man, I gotta say the Chinese what do they call them? They're not Jinu. They're Gaizu or something like that. Yeah, basically dragons. They got dragons in Chinatown. They got a real...
little too on the nose, but maybe we'll circle back and it'll be a point in being too on the nose.
Well, what I like about that is the suggestion that everyone says, well, the Geno is like, what are those? Well, they're like spirit monsters. Oh yeah, we got those. And they're like, wait, that's what you think of when we say Geno? No, our Geno look like this. Oh, I've never seen that before. And literally, clearly, we've been fighting different monsters the whole time. Because there's a lot of monsters. And I love this, forgetting her name, the Mama Singir. Talking about like how the sickness seizes a soul, but she's never seen a sickness like this. And it's really fascinating because it's almost like it's not like an infection or disease. It really feels like that basically it's spiritual cancer.
Yes. And also the theme this issue was like strength in numbers. You see these different dynamics and factions working together that you be like, okay, like I like that strength in numbers theme this issue.
By the way, I love the art on this. This is our spread here. The way that it's like 4 different stories all spread out, but they flow so well as they're telling
when the worlds collide
at the same time. It is beautiful. We do get our BA moments here. We got a little redheaded white boy, a little Jimmy Olsen pastiche. He goes and gets the guns from the car just as Rambo ended up. Ah! And just gonna shoot them all. And that's beautiful. And this is, one of the Singers is like, I don't trust him, I don't like him. So you're getting that whole distrust and anger, and then he like, see, I can shoot monsters too. And then we got Berg. Man, I love Half Demon Berg. I love that Berg is able to hold himself together. And again, going to that idea of a spiritual cancer, he's fighting the cancer. He is clearly infected, but he is still able to, hold himself together because of his intellectual rigor. I feel the intellectual rigor, because it's using those big words. That's what helps him to keep sane. That's what helps him to keep it all in control and under operations. And I love that. And
did you read the column at the end that gives that insight to the backstory about the gear symbol?
Oh no, man! I really did
read
not.
That. I loved that. Yeah, you'll love it too.
I'm sure I will. Man, I have a hard time reading the text pages because I'm trying to read so much. But the end. When Dr. Sylvester, he's running towards the light. There's light, and the woman he's with is like, no, we can't go there. We can't go there. and he gets there and he realizes, what's he say here? You leave me with no path forward, no path back. I seek shelter. You guide me straight to hell. So shall it be. And he is at the town with the unwelcoming sign, which I will not read aloud. But you can read the book yourself and see, oh, yes. And those signs, yes, they did exist. And yes, that was the rule. And yeah, it was a brilliant story and a brilliant tale and well told in every level.
I don't know how this is where my emotion goes, not Harley Quinn. Sorry. This is where my emotion goes.
Oh, you know what it is? That's such a solid book. That's like a meat and potatoes book,
Yeah.
That is a dinner book. That is that's a book you can talk about with your friends. Harley Quinn it just gets me in the feels.
It's an aperitif. It's fine.
I'm a big softie. It's like, it's an ice cream cone that is a good ice cream cone. Have you ever had a really good ice cream cone? You're like, oh, this is so delicious.
Blue
you can't
Moon
eat it
on a sugar cone, yes.
Fair enough. Yes, Blue Moon is great. I do love Blue Moon. I'm actually a big fan of Superman ice cream.
Well, yeah, it's the same difference. It's just regional.
Well, no, Superman is the red, yellow, and blue. Because Blue Moon is one of the ingredients in Superman.
Yeah. Okay.
It's French vanilla, cherry, and Blue Moon. And it's and you get it in a non-sugar cone. The old wafer cones.
Ew, sugar cone.
Oh no, you gotta get that savory with it.
I like my ice cream with styrofoam, sir.
It's the styrofoam that makes it good. But anyway, but that's what Harley Quinn is, and I loved it. But we'll talk about that on Super Connectivity. We'll do Agents and Empire over there.
Yeah, Fantastic Four Empire.
Empire, number 0. And the Fantastic Four, so much cooler than the Avengers.
Well, the two books,
I agree. First family of Marvel, let's lean into this, put some respect on their name. I'm just glad that they're actually back in continuity.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's been such a great trip for them, too, on their way back. I feel like everybody's been super respectful and having fun, and I really miss the Fantastic Four. I'm glad they're back. And I can't wait for their movie in Marvel's hands.
Yeah, it's coming. It is coming.
Yay.
I just hope Marvel has the sense to not screw it up.
No baby Fantastic Four. It's okay for these guys to be a little older. That's all I'm going to say.
Really, they need to be. Honestly, I would just bring the folks back from the first Fox film. Hey man,
I love Ian Grufford. I love him as Reed Richards. I will stand a petition for him all day long.
I like Jessica Alba. She was fine. I think she can act. And Michael
She's just busy with her organic, empire and her babies. That's the only thing. I don't think
she's not like, endorsing Trump or something. You never know. Every so often, I love the actor. It's like, they're a Trump supporter. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, that ruined it for me.
I can't even say who that happened to me to recently.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah.
All right, so
I can live with Charlie Daniels right now because he's dead, and I never saw the tweets while he was alive. So I can say, you know what? Doesn't matter.
Y'all trying to cancel a man after he's dead? Have you no shame? Have you no shame?
Okay.
I have to rewrite Twitter etiquette. Apparently, we don't cancel people after they're like.
Yeah, well,
can we just make that a rule?
Yeah. I think if it didn't cause enough of a stir when they're alive, bring it up when they're dead, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so bad they're dead. They wrote good music." It's like, who cares? You could have done it when he was alive, and it's not like it was a secret. Apparently, everyone knew about it. It's like, what is it, Hank Williams Jr.? Everyone knew he was a nut, But to me, when it comes to actors and musicians, I don't care if they're nuts that much. Because they really have no influence in life. As the great Tom Arnold once said, I may have made awful things, but it's not like I tied up people and made them watch. And I could have, because I'm a big guy and I'm good with knots.
and now we know why what Roseanne saw in him.
Yeah. It's just the idea that, they're just, they're actors, they're artists, they say stupid things. And so long as they really have no influence on my life particularly, it doesn't really raise that much ire in me. It's like an actor is never going to destroy my life. Because an actor can barely keep his life together. So, do what I want to do. Really. Like, you get into guys like, Harvey Weinstein, then I can say, okay, this is where it gets really dark and troublesome. But, the fact of the matter is like, what's his name? The guy who played Frasier.
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer?
Kelsey Grammer is not going to destroy my life at any point in his
He's not problematic as far as I know. I was going to say.
Well, I mean, he's like the guy that was on Law and Order.
Didn't he divorce his wife through a tweet or something, or a text or something?
Yeah, that Hollywood divorces. That's nothing.
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, I really don't care about your relationships. Your relationships among adults, unless you were an active, dangerous person in that relationship, however unfeeling you are, I'm going to say, you know what, that was probably a situation in your relationship for a long time before that moment. So that in and of itself does not bother me. It's like, you had a bad relationship, that's fine. My relationship is good. Your bad relationship doesn't affect my good relationship.
Exactly.
So, but anyway... But like I said, but Kelsey Grammer's sort of conservative. Well, he's actually very conservative. I mean, not super horribly conservative.
But it's not pushy. And there's only one person that's super conservative that I'm okay with, and that's Jim Caviezel. And Dean Cain. Okay. Dean Cain can say nutty things every now and then, but I honestly, I still stand.
And that's the thing. It's like Dean Cain isn't going to even that kid. The kid from Growing Pains makes me mad because he did get that girl fired off of his show.
Yes, because she was a Playboy model, yeah.
And to me, that's like, dude, that ain't Christian. That's not the way no, for real. That's not the way you do it. You can be as, you can be as preachy as you want to be in your off time, but you don't freaking ruin someone's life over it. Because that's wrong. Because that's abusing your power. That's being a bully. And I don't think Jesus would like that. Just my basic gleaning of what he said.
No, Philip, we gotta get out of here.
I thought you wanted to leave a half hour ago, Lois, but you just keep feeding the fire over there.
I can't help it. I've been drinking apple juice too.
Oh, jeez.
She's getting me on a rant, Phil.
All right, so everyone, send us your thoughts on all this DC stuff.
I finally got all the DC stuff in, guys. Give it a like.
That's right.
Did Tom Arnold ever tie you up and make you watch his shows? If so, tell us. Because he's a big guy and he's good with knots, so he could have.
Anyway, any of that, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow the Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. All of our stuff, you can find links to everything all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And remember to go and support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the Book, Volume 1, now in digital and paperback. And when you go buy that and everything else these days, use the Southgate Media Group link for Amazon right down there in the show notes. help support this show, because we all need it, the network, and of course, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain.
Yes!
Make it rain. So
yes,
says
King.
Master
Tell him.
So says Master Do.
Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, or on Instagram with the cool kids and the hip grandparents at Lilith Hellfire 86 or at Lilith Hellfire 69.
I see it. I want it. I get it.
Charlie Esser.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in an old-fashioned email way the way our Mars and Paz once did, at the turn of the century, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitter site, live tweet the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEssser, 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing, bing.
Thank you, Maz, and thank you, Tristan.
Yeah, thank you, Lois.
And thank you, Lilith, yes. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Phil, for making this podcast.
Welcome.
Come on, Phil, say Gotham.
No, Rob. Anyway, for another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics. Boom.
Nice mustache, Charlie.
Oh, wait. Did
What?
you guys see the trailer for Boys Season 2?
Not yet.
I didn't watch the trailer
Good.
yet.
I like the trailer.
It's coming soon. What is it, September?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can't
So
wait.
I'm looking forward to a full stream ahead. If my
Full stream ahead?
Yes.
Arr.
Now we're finishing up the last season the first season of Agent Carter. We're going to the next season. Probably be finishing up just in time. Just in time.
just this one time, everybody lives.
So stay tuned, everyone.
What did you say?